up early this morning to the sounds of crying. Another mother shedding her tears. Oh, yeah. Why all the pain and suffering? Why all the senseless killing? Could it be that nobody cares? Oh, no. So many sons lost in the slaughter, blood running in the streets like water, a gun in hand, no friend, no. Woman selling death in my land, getting rich off the souls of we children. Can you tell me when will it end?
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, family and friends.
Must carry this load. Oh. How many more? Before we trot down Zion Road. How many more? Sing what?
To Trinidad and Tobago, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, family and friends. I must send out some love to my UNC family. Must send out some love to my coalition team 648. Big up all yourself. Well, you know, we must send some love to Cedros, Erin, Buenos Aires, Icacas. We must big up Penal, Saparia, Debe. We must big up Point Forte. We must big up Labre, Vance Rover, Cochrane, Chinese Village, Dow. We heading up the road, ladies and gentlemen. Golconda, you yourself, big up yourself, Princess Tongue. You know it's nothing but love, the East-West corridor. Bless good afternoon to you, Edinburgh 500. Big up yourself, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters. To my YouTube family, bless good afternoon. Facebook family, bless good afternoon. I want to send out some love to you. As you come up, I encourage you to like and share. If you haven't subscribed, brothers and sisters, ladies and gentlemen, this is Real Talk with your boy Irvin, where we speak real talk, where we connect with real brothers and sisters. Wrong song, not the wrong song. Let me do this the right way. Let me start this. Either way, brothers and sisters, we're going forward.
Troubles may come, but I'm a praying soul. Devil that try, but he does never learn. So much on my mind, if I tell you, just look at me smile. When them do me right, I do them right. I'm just a man who does pray at night. How I live it.
My brothers and sisters, family and friends, again, we started late today, but again, better here than never. So I say thank you very much for being here with us for our next episode of Real Talk. Brothers and sisters, our conversation this afternoon, we got to talk a little bit about NIS. We got a couple of people call me speaking about the NIS and the NIS contributions and the problems that it is causing in this country. And if it is, we don't know, it is actually a revenue maker also. And again, that we will have to talk about that. We got to talk about Trinidad and Tobago, state of emergency. And again, when you listen to the conversation, it shows you the level of unnecessary activities that we have taken place in this country. This is why April 28, the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago, yourself, myself, our families, we came out and we voted out the former administration. Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, those of us who know that in Trinidad and Tobago, here every creed and race finds an equal place, and may God bless our nation. So those of us who have enough common sense about the history of Trinidad and Tobago, anybody, listen to me, anybody, don't mind the color of the jacket, don't mind the office that they formerly held, because your responsibility is to check their adequate support. And if the offices that they formerly held, people had to reach so low to cry for water, that person, especially that person, have no responsibility speaking about ethnicity in this country. Now, while we at it, it is my responsibility to bring you solid facts of the level of hypocrisy playing in Trinidad and Tobago. While we go forward, we must continue to thank our essential workers. Again, I want to send out a special thank you very much to the Commissioner of Police and the Police Service of Trinidad and Tobago for their continuous diligent service. We know that decisions will have to be made. We know actions will have to be taken in this country based on where we reach with crime, the type of murders. Because brothers and sisters, ain't nobody sitting down in their house or sitting down on their job or traveling today and tell me that they are comfortable with the conversation of a young man. A young man. Ladies and gentlemen, the conversation is that a young lady was in a suitcase in pieces underneath a pond. Listen, somebody's daughter, somebody's sister, somebody's niece was in a suitcase in pieces in a pond in Trinidad and Tobago. I don't care how hard or how poor it get. Ain't nobody have no authority to do nobody children that. You could have all the community centers and all the good roads. It still gives nobody the responsibility or an excuse to leave somebody in that position. And in order to deal with these issues, we must have an efficient and an adequate police force. Brothers and sisters, April 28th, we went to the polls. Covenant was made with the people of Trinidad and Tobago. We would put things in place, give us the opportunity to fight crime on your behalf, my behalf. A SOE might be in place. You listen to the conversation, nobody is just discussing these things for joke thing. And when you listen in high-profile criminals, because of activities, they have access to cell phones. Now, this is so funny, eh? This is so funny, the level the conversation is. Because I myself, now mind me, eh, when you experience things in life, your responsibility is to speak about your experience. Now, I myself did a little incarceration time too. And with somebody being incarcerated, I don't understand what is actually going on in Trinidad and Tobago, especially in the prison service. Not in the prison service, in the prison system. What is the doctrine that these prisoners and them is actually listening to? Because when you get arrested, your responsibility is supposed to try your best to rehabilitate yourself. This is where the average human being going to reading, going to religion, you're going to reflecting. But if the conversation in Trinidad and Tobago, and this is a normal conversation for years, that shots has been calling from behind the prison walls. And if this is the conversation, then people like me who have experience in the system, because I know it are people who lock up for maintenance. It are people who lock up for alimony. It are people who lock up because they borrow money from the bank and they pay it. It are people who lock up for accidents. It are people who lock up for things that they didn't even know was a crime and they lock up. It are people who lock up and claiming innocent. And how could we as a people get to the conversation asking our governing authority, because these people have families too, and a lot of these people claiming innocent. But how could we get to having a conversation with our governing authority to put some sort of structure where prisoners could have access to call the family? Having that conversation in this country right now is an impossible task based on the history of activities with unauthorized phones. So I'm saying, as much as a fella might believe that he is a part of something and believe that we putting down with foot on the ground and we have to represent kidnapping or whatever it is, and you're doing this because thing ain't bright and it's time that you have something, even self, you get away scot-free with the crime, that money is still coming back and blight your entire family, because where you're going to use it for? Not to buy books for your daughters. One would like to assume you're going to lie and drink, yes. But when your family member asks you for something, you're going to take that same money and give your family that money. And your family don't know that money heavy. And this is the reality that we're living in. We're living in a reality in Trinidad and Tobago where it is common to endorse corruption. Bless good afternoon, caller. Bless good afternoon, caller. Bless good afternoon, caller. Caller not here, you got to call back. Ladies and gentlemen, and the heights is, we as a people, we have a responsibility. Bless good afternoon, caller.
Oh, like you're getting sabotage or what?
I know, I get you. By the grace of God.
Oh. I'm listening to you with all the points you're making, but this is my first red flag upon this government. I totally against that state of emergency. I don't feel that it is warranted. No. The police supposed to have intelligence to do the job. Not every time something happens, you locking down the country.
Caller.
That come like yes.
Caller, listen. If you notice, the police didn't say that they don't have intelligence enough. Listen what Mr. Alexander said up to the other day. Listen the condition the police service is in. Asking them to do their job diligently and going out there and giving their all is one. But going out there and giving your all and your bulletproof vest is not up to OSHA standard. That is a serious problem. All your officers not being equipped with the cameras. Because what have to take place in Trinidad and Tobago is a serious piece of action that to take place. And caller, it can't take place without money. The investment have to be made. We must get the service up to standard. Other than that, we go end up spinning top in mud. We go just end up promoting people and boasting about commissioner, police, and who's swimming in pool and all these kind of things. And
well, this is the first time I see this commissioner, and I hear the name. I never know who he was, but this is the first time I see him because of the press conference, and my blood didn't take it at all. I find like he's a square peg in a wrong hole. And if he now come on the job, and the first thing you could do by coming on the job is to bring a state of emergency to deal with that situation, I have a red flag for that. Now I hear anybody police need equipment and the bulletproof vest and all of that so for years. All of that so, and it needs to change now. I understand that. But to deal with that situation, you have to bring a state of emergency. That leaving more to be desired.
Caller, let me just give back one for instance. It's at an instance here in Point in front of, not in Point 14, in San Fernando, in front of our Pennywise, with some young fellas. These young fellas wasn't even 6 fellas. Was a small squad, but the problem with that small squad, the type of firearms these fellas and them had. Papa, now picture 10 men. What they tell you is a high-profile person moving in. Picture 10 men defending that. The public outside, unaware of what the activity taking place. Papa, as much as it's an uncomfortable thing. So I understand where you're coming from. But I don't think the commissioner of police, based on the magnitude of the profile of the criminal, and you know we have some high profile here, we have to be real. The type of guns that we see on social media that was brandished, and some of these guns was brandished by average person. So you could imagine a man who could finance it.
Mr. Felix, I think we're on 2 different wavelengths. Understanding what you're saying, I hear what you're saying. I not basing on that. I am saying to you this, the simple thing I am saying. I like UNC, I vote for them.
No, listen.
I glad to see the back at PNM, but at the same time, we must not either call a spade. You must not be a bobblehead dolly on a dashboard. You must be objective. Sometimes if the government moving left, let them know from early they're moving left so that they could come.
Listen to the facts of what it is we spoke about. Listen to the elements and the facts. Forget the government. Forget whoever is in government. Listen what we have to look at. We have to look at that we asking the police officers is them who have to do the job. Them who have to face the shootouts. Them who have to run into
They're getting paid for that, They didn't do that for free. They're not a favor.
Which is truth. But while we asking for it, we must make sure and put the adequate things to make sure that the officer's life is safe, and bulletproof vests. This is actually going to make contact with the situation.
Mr. Felix, I hear you, but you're still off the rail. I'm listening to you, but you ain't listening to me. That's why you're making these statements. What I am saying to you is this. Regarding all the things that you're stating, I believe a police, and they have the soldiers to them too. The police have training to deal with these type of situation. You don't need a state of emergency to deal with that. Right? You have 1.4 million or however amount of people you have in the country, and you have a handful of people getting problem. You have people that supposed to be trained in the service to deal with incidents like this. All right, like for instance, the last government, in order for them to have an election to say, well, because of them crime went down, they had a state of emergency. And this issue come up now. This government now come in office, we now come out of state of emergency, we back in a state of emergency for something else again. I don't find that makes sense. I find you're paying the police to do a job. They're too lazy. That's the whole damn thing about it. They're too damn lazy. So when they have information, instead of dealing with it and avoiding it from escalating, to come and bring a state of emergency, I don't think it is right for the citizens in the country to do that.
That's what you're saying. Wait, don't you can't leave on me. Check what you said. Now, mind me, you see everything when you say that, I remember before, if it is me being real with what we're dealing with, before it have clippings with Mr. Roger Alexander, which is the Minister of Homeland Security, mentioning things like that. He called out the police and all when he was a police. Correct me when I start to go wrong. Now listen to me. Roger Alexander, who have the responsibility to put the adequate resources in place. Partners, if after everything that you say you need, we have to take an adequate camera, no problem. You say your bulletproof vest ain't good, you can't run out crazy, no problem. What else you say we need vehicle? If the government put the relevant things in place as they guaranteed us, then we the people could say the police don't have an excuse. But if the commissioner come in, mind me, he have been a police, I don't know now come police, we might know him personally. So I like that too, that he's not one of them advertised officers who is actually the commissioner. And we give him everything because we the people endorsing for him to get everything so that the police service can run efficiently. Caller, if after the officers get what is needed, then we still have to go in an emergency because a prisoner have to move well, then we go have an argument. But at the end of the day, the fact is we still have drastic shortcomings in all we departments.
Yeah. I don't think. All right. Okay. All right. It has shortcomings, right? It has shortcomings. They say it has shortcomings. What about managerial skill?
True.
Probably they're not managing the shortcoming to be effective because they're only looking at another direction instead of dealing with the real issue. And why it has shortcomings?
Lovely.
Understand?
Yeah.
I tell what the public out here is not as before. The public out here is not as before. Stop taking us for children and feel because you get support from us, you could shove things down with truth. We supporting you, we standing up with you 100%. But careful what you're doing. Careful. I totally disagree with that state of emergency. And as a matter of fact, I tell you straight up from watching this commissioner this morning and how we carry on a press conference, I don't like him. I have a red flag for he too. I don't like him. But I hear always say,
no,
yes.
Hear me. What I'm saying is, this is why we here at 640 Television, because you say some very important things where I am 100% sure anybody who care about the country will repeat some of those things. But what I'm asking you one time, we already know about the shortcomings. You're also agreeing for the government to make the investment in the police service. You agreeing that?
I don't feel that them talking about the shortcomings is justifying it because they
no, I talking about
justify shortcomings to me, you know. They're only talking that.
No, I talking about the bulletproof vest and them kind of thing that the basic police officers need.
But they're kicking down people door. They're kicking down people door all the time with the same bulletproof vest. So wait till the front now.
Listen. all the police officers never say all the bulletproof vests expire. So what if those who had good bulletproof vests is who was kicking down door? But the fact remains is that we have officers out there that the bulletproof vests expire. And
Mr. Felix, the kicking down door with the kicking down door with or without.
Without
don't be naive.
And you're right.
With or without with
we know that.
Kicking doors. Right.
Well, we know that,
okay.
But it is also an excuse that was, well, I wouldn't say an excuse, it's facts, and it's a reason they're saying why things cannot move forward. So, and what's my other family who is police too, so I don't want them to be in an expired vest. So I lobbying for that.
Now, all what you're saying, they're making sense. You know? You're not talking to police, you know. All what you're saying, they're making sense. But it's just that I'm talking peas and you talking carrot.
Nah, understand where you're coming
That's the
from.
only difference. But when you say making sense, I hear you and I agree with you. They killed 4 people on the Lady Young day in a car. They had on bulletproof vests and nobody was firing shots at them.
Yeah.
They killed someone inside a Schumacher who was gambling. They had on bulletproof vests, nobody wasn't firing shots at them. You see them kind of red hearing rhetoric. Them is thing that we don't want right now. I watch regardless of whatever you say. I respectfully, you know, I have the most amount of respect for you, but I respectfully disagree with your opinion today and the state of emergency. I find you should have no right to no state of emergency.
But here may you also make some very important points, and I hope that the governing authority hear what it is we're saying, because we're saying you're not vexed, but it have things that happened in the past, and let me be real. Trinidad picking up the pieces.
You know, let me just bring something to your. Let me just ask you this little simple thing. This man that you have as the head of National Homeland Security, right? You remember it had a year. All right, I tell you, it had a year. The whole country shut down. Car couldn't go nowhere. The whole country in disarray. Yeah. Have any one of you reporters ever questioned and asked that individual if he was involved in that on that day, and if so, why?
Well,
but you see, Trinidadian had 9 days memory. But I still hope he do a good job, because people could change with time. So I still hope he do a good job. You see how fair I am? But I am still saying to you that I do not agree with no state of emergency. And on top of that, I see he wearing a thing on the commissioner. The commissioner wearing a tag on the arm with a skull, a black thing with a skull. That my name, yeah, ISIS. We're really going on.
Oh, I really didn't take him in properly. So, Paul, I understand where you're coming from. You're concerned.
And not only that are concerned, I am in disagreement with the state of emergency. Police should never have the right, unless we have terrorists with shooters in our place and all kind of thing, to have state of emergency when it could come into your dwelling.
Well, I understood. And let me tell you something.
Or your space without warrant.
We in this together, and remember we didn't agree, we wouldn't agree with everything, but we in this together. So your point is properly well taken.
Yes, I have no, I still not going against the government. No. I still not going against the government. I still supporting the government, but we not the way we just get chopped with, the last one is that we come complacent. And they start taking us for granted, and that is why we get the licking of our life for 9 and something years. We not intend to go down that route anymore. That is why I always say from now, let us look for a third party from now. Should in case if this government should swing left, we have alternative, and not to think that we vex with PNM, we go to UNC, we vex with UNC, we go back to PNM. Not on that no more.
Right.
You understand? So I'm not, what you saying, I'm in agreement with what you saying, but where I say to pay attention to what I say, because I saw we on the ground.
Understood, brother. Nothing but love.
Okay, have a blessed evening. Yeah.
Bless good afternoon, caller. Bless good afternoon, caller. Bless good afternoon.
Still saying you. That's a little bit. Yeah. Good day, good day.
Let's get it.
Hello?
Yes. How you do? Let's
I
go.
thank God for life.
Yes, man.
Brother Felix.
Yes, you're live on air at 6 television. Talk to us.
Brother Felix,
Yes.
we all have own opinion. Whether it right guy those seems to understand
Paula, you're breaking up
what
a
is
lot.
strategy.
You're breaking up a lot. Paula, hang up and call back. Your call is breaking up a lot. Hang up and call back. So I understand what the caller, the first caller was saying, my brothers and sisters, while we're going forward, we say a prayer before this caller call back. Because again, we have a responsibility to ask the Father to take charge of our conversation, and you see, we get into the yesterday. Let me answer this. Let's good afternoon, caller.
Good day, Brother Felix. You hear me now?
Loud and clear. Caller, hold on 1 second. Let me just open with a word of prayer because we didn't pray to start. Heavenly Father is your son. Father, I just want to give you all the praise, all the honor, and all the glory. Thank you for today's proceedings, Father. Cover each and every person that would be upon the life, those that would be calling in, Father. You bless their house, bless their going outs and their coming ins. We pray for no accidents, no incidents. We put our honorable Prime Minister before you, Lord. We ask that you cover her entire cabinet, every representing person, Father. We ask that you cover our communities, our marriages, our businesses, Lord. Father, you cover our nation, and we say a special prayers for brothers and sisters outside of Trinidad and Tobago today, Lord. We pray that you continue to find favor in our citizens. We pray that government continue to respect our citizens, Father. We just thank you. We give you all the praise, all the honor, and all the glory. No other name but Jesus' name. Amen and amen. Caller, bless. Good afternoon. Caller?
I have called. Yeah.
Yeah, loud and clear.
You know, right. Hope you and the family doing good and you having a good day today. You know, as I was saying, everybody had their own opinion, whether it's right or wrong.
Yes.
But this guy don't seem to understand the strategy they're working with.
Yeah.
You know, it is a certain incident happened concerning with hit some people from jail and outside and all that.
Yeah.
You know, they move some of the people. I don't know if you are cocoa in the sun, meaning why police don't come and kick down my door, you know? You know what I mean? You know, the thing is, I watched the interview with the commissioner of police this morning.
Yeah.
And I find the guy was good on target.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Now, as I said, that's my opinion. It's whether it's wrong or right. He has his own opinion.
Yeah.
But you know what I want to say? He maybe have an agenda, you have a smoke screen in front.
You know what?
And you know, you have an agenda. You know?
I don't want to say that.
But,
it's certain elements. Hold on 1 second. There's certain elements of his conversation that I understand. It seems to me is which part he live in, probably things that he read and things that he saw over the years. And then he had to be real too. Over the years, the people at Trinidad and Tobago, the people condition our mind to hate the police. We stand up and even listen to the former government, they'll drag the police under the bus. So people mind conditioned to not like the police. That is why I choose to hold on to the structure, what needs to be installed for us to navigate away from this problem. You go ahead, Cole.
Yeah, I wait you gonna feel because if you are too late to do your work, as you said.
True.
You know, but you see, the thing is, he blaming the police for saying he keep down the door and all that. But remember, the commissioner of police said this morning, whosoever do that, they have things in place for that, the police and them.
Yeah.
You know, to investigate. You know, so we are looking at all that, you know what I mean? But you know, thank God for the show. Very informative. I'm an ardent looker.
Thank you.
You know?
Thank you.
And and I hope that God bless you and give you wisdom to continue sending all the facts to the people of this country.
Thank you much.
You take care, you and your family. Have a blessed day. God bless you.
Bless that afternoon. And thank you much for your contribution. And ladies and gentlemen, I must say, caller, thank you for your contribution. And this is something that I'm saying. This is despite the bulletproof vests and the camera conversation. We have to be real and reasonable with what it is we actually dealing with in Trinidad and Tobago. Now, based on the conversation that came out, the conversation is a high-profile criminal. The conversation is that the person had access to cell phone. So to start with, if the person had access to cell phone, it shows that it had cracks in his system. Because the only how cell phone can end up in prison, somebody had to bring it there. So it shows that it have cracks in his system. While it have cracks in his system, these things are happening and that's secret. Blessed afternoon, everyone. These things are happening and that's secret. It's not like officers walking in with a cell phone and saying, look, I bring this phone. If you understand what I'm saying. So while it have cracks in the system, we, the people of Trinidad and Tobago, we must have enough common sense to know nobody can convince us that the whole prison service corrupt. Just like how it is unacceptable to believe the whole police service is corrupt. But it have some rogue elements in the midst. Now, all responsibility based on, and this is just me, I believe from since COVID-19 to now, everybody globally was given an opportunity to change the vibes, Ras. I believe so. So if we still have police officers practicing rogue activities, people dying, people coming and walking out the police station, this was the activity in Trinidad and Tobago. People walking out the police station and was being shot. You could imagine how reckless somebody had to be to shoot somebody in front of a church. Just think about where Trinidad and Tobago is at right now. You know how reckless you have to be to go by a temple to rob, or go by a Baptist church to vandalize, or go by a full gospel church and vandalize. I remember being a little boy, and back then when it had bad man. What you seen today is just a whole, people sell young people a dream and people living today for today and practicing a set of activities, embarrassing the future. Nobody's saying they can't make mistakes, but look at the kind of nastiness we getting myself tied up in. You on social media with a big gun and your family barely have grocery in the house. The gun worth $50,000-$60,000. So the whole thing not making sense. It comes just like leaving home with a big gold chain around your neck. We're worth over $15,000 and you heading out in John Public knowing that we living among vipers. Yes, you're supposed to have the freedom to wear anything or you want, but we living among vipers. So you have no reason to put yourself at risk. My conversation I'm speaking to, what about the people who did not put themselves at risk? What about the people who was just minding the business and home invasion, just come and meet them? What about the woman who just left home just to go and pay some bills? And when you listen to the conversation, the police cannot act efficiently because in some instances we don't have vehicles. Robbery taking place, you on the phone with the police and the police making sure and stay on the phone until the robber leave. Then they show up. And then now you have to tune into press conference. And I don't understand why this conversation was not embarrassing before in Trinidad and Tobago. Because as much as we sit down, and we could sit down and speak around all the conversations, there are drastic shortcomings in Trinidad and Tobago. There are people who are trying to divert the conversation into racialism. But the fact remains is we must fix the structure. It must fix. It has to fix, ladies and gentlemen, and that is the facts. So when you're listening to the conversation, use a new commissioner of police. Just like how we saying, we don't know him personally. We gonna be irresponsible to think that he know all the police and them personally. What we would want to expect is that he get a job, so he's a skilled professional in the position. He had years in it, so all right. So that going for him. And then now, having the facts, this is just me, just taking myself out of my shoes and putting myself in his shoes just for a minute. And I get a job and my responsibility, I know I'm dealing with some criminals that the kind of high-profile weapons that we have is things that you're seeing down the Gaza Strip. How did beautiful Trinidad and Tobago, the land of oil and music, end up having guns? Well, all right, we've done it already. So as much as we would speak about it while the problem fixing, we have to start to fix the problem. And starting to fix the problem is understanding what you're dealing with. Commissioner of Police come in. Yes, the police responsibility is to do the job. But we have to be irresponsible for us to put our hats. For me, who get the work, I don't know everybody. And to think that we're going and execute this properly. So let me not bother to tell John Public nothing. And then we end up in the middle of Port of Spain or in the middle of some community with a big shootout, big hijack, big all kind of madness. So then the safest thing to do, let me give the police the authority while it is we navigating this person here. So any false move, anything move, pay the consequences. At least the nation on the alert. We moving this year from here today. We have to tell you who it is. But we have this kind of action going on in the community. So anytime down by you or your community or anyway, you see looking kind of hot. Just remember we're under a state of emergency. And when later when you come in, you go pull your papers and you go read and you go realize, oh, we was moving a high-profile criminal. Who is the person called the shot again? The commissioner of police had to give the advice. Well, there's no problem. No problem. We went through state of emergency already. No problem. So my brothers and sisters, yes, it might be an inconvenience because remember, I speaking from Point 14. It are people speaking from penal, people speaking from different places. But again, that we don't act like we did not hear the information. As much as I could testify about the municipal police in Point 14, you can't bounce your head around them. I could boast about the regular police in Point 14. You can't lapse around them. But I can't testify about all the police. Our family members who is police officers. Our people who is police officers who does go to church. But we all know what some church people does give. So while we hold on to the facts of what we're dealing with, I believe moving a high-profile criminal as the government, I believe that was the responsible thing to do. Let's good afternoon, caller.
Good evening, Mr. Felix. Mr. Felix, before you start the conversation with them, right? With this situation, you have to ask them, do you feel comfortable and safe right now in your country?
Good question.
And let us say yes or no. Yeah. And then ask them, do you want it to fix? And sometimes you have to be inconvenienced in a certain way to get fixed because the last administration had 10 years. They did the SOE, they did everything. What was the results? They didn't even bring out data. And this is where you have to ask them before.
Kola, let me tell you something, right? This is something where I think a lot of people is missing. Plenty people who talk in the conversation is people who spiritual people, big people, right? And I just like to hold on because God asked us to take his word and apply it to our daily life. So I dealing with my daily elements with the covering of God, right? Listen what I'm telling you.
Yeah.
With reading the Bible, I bounced up a fella named Saul. That fella was one of the baddest person. We're talking about you couldn't make a mistake and say it was a Christian wrong here. And he gone with your head. And I see God take that same man, make that man an apostle. And that man went on to do mighty work for God. So mind me, I don't know, because if you notice plenty of the conversation in this country, it directly pointing back to Mr. Alexander. So I don't know who knows Mr. Alexander personally. I don't know their relationship with Mr. Alexander. Caller, I could only talk about what I know about Mr. Alexander. And if there's one thing I believe you and all could testify, is that he's known to be one of the baddest police in this country. Correct me when I'm going wrong, please.
Yeah. Yes, you're correct.
And anybody could tell you, if you earn the reputation as one of the baddest police in a country, that is not an easy journey. Everything wouldn't be done right. It have people you meet and cuss up in the past. No problem with that. But the problem that I am having in Trinidad and Tobago, I need somebody with the skills, I need somebody with the experience, and I need somebody with the belly to come up with the strategy to deal with the problem. We gave somebody else the task, but 2 terms straight, they get 10 years. They were so successful, they break murder rate after murder rate, and not in the opposite way, in the higher figures. So what we asking now, we get somebody experienced, we get a government willing to make the investment. We the people, we are the get in alignment.
And Mr. Felix, and this is why I'm showing you, Jamaica, they did the same thing, and they got the crime rate now down, and now they experience over $3 billion in tourism.
Thank you.
So the people see the benefits of doing it. Sometimes they have to feel uncomfortable to get it all under control. Because if you want to do it easy, and let me say it right, you want to do it easy, but you cannot go down the road. You cannot even take out $5,000 in the bank and walk freely. You have to watch over your back if somebody go and
In this country,
you understand what I'm saying?
for real. That is so
So anybody want to call in and say their opinion, ask them the question first. Do you feel safe and do your family feel safe right now in the country?
Matter of fact,
And if they want it,
that's the question for the day. I want people to call in. Call in and explain to us if it is
yeah,
you feel safe.
and ask them. And before I leave, ask them, do you want it resolved and are you willing to sacrifice a little bit of your rights and a little bit of your personal space to get it under control? All right,
thank you
Mr.
very
Felix,
much.
look on.
Thank you
Yeah.
for your contribution. And the caller is so right. So Trinidad and Tobago, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, family and friends, as we continue to discuss and we deal with the elements, I need you all to call me while the program going on. Tell me if you feel safe in your country. That is a good question. And what are you willing to sacrifice for safety in your country? Because we saw all the elements. We saw it. And in a lot of cases, a lot of people is claiming unjust actions with the police and unjust actions with people from the communities. Businesses get robbed. We had children driving vehicle was killed. And while all of this going on, we must hold on to the facts. In order for us to have an efficient nation, a successful nation, you have to have a police force. That goes with it. What happened over the years is that we were told, and we just use the statement, them police and them soldiers and them. But the facts is, the police service is made up of numbers. The prison service is made up of numbers. The army made up of numbers, Coast Guard, all these things are made up of numbers. And if you look deep down in your own family, just look in your family, and in a lot of cases, you don't even have to look far. Just look in your family, and you would notice that the persons who actually is police officers is not really them. It's really we. It's really we. So basically what it is I am explaining to you is that the people of Trinidad and Tobago, no other nation policing us. We are an independent nation, so we're given an opportunity to police ourselves. And if crime, this is just in case I'm having a conversation that needs to be had. Just in case crime is outrageous. Just in case Tobago is seriously dependent on tourism. This is just in case you are a citizen, you are a patriot. Just in case you're sitting in from the outside at Trinidad and Tobago and know that you would have to come back here. Just in case. Blessed afternoon, brother.
Mr. Felix, you know what I like you for?
Talk to me.
You're being real. I love you for that.
Talk to me.
I love you for that. Nobody can turn up your head. You're being real. Mr. Felix, I am from Lavantil.
You see? You see?
Right? And I am telling you,
You see?
the police can't get no support from the public out here. And you know why that happening?
Yeah.
Because they bring that on themselves.
You see?
Police, me like if they are cannabis, they just brainwash them and put a colonial brain inside the head. And once they get that power, they brutalize you and take advantage of the power that is being given on to them.
Caller, this could be a part
So you see, coming and asking the public to stand with police and all of that, that ain't happening.
No, caller, but hear this, hear this.
You see, you have forces to go through to deal with police and when they do stupidness.
No.
All right, people go in, but when time to go to get evidence, you know why they're not going?
Yeah.
Because the same police telling people to kill you.
Thank
you understand?
Understood.
So this thing where they bringing police now, a set of corrupt police in the service and bringing state of emergency. He has something against you. What do you think will happen?
Understood.
What do you think will happen?
Understood.
Until the caller will call and talking about I have cocoa and son or have agenda. I mean I know cocoa son and no agenda. I know things that you don't know and see things that you never see and will never see in your lifetime. So don't come wrong me with them things. I not talking for talking sake or want to hear myself on your radio. You understand?
Yes, man.
This is coming from on the ground. This is ground talk. This is not middle class and high class talk here.
Yeah.
Let me be real.
Yeah.
Right? And if the police, we now come out of a state of emergency, where all them things was happening and nothing being done, and you come back in a state of emergency, Mr. Felix, how long the state of emergency will be for?
I know.
You know?
Call I hear him. How long the state of?
So I ain't hear you, they're not racing?
We ask me how long the state of emergency is for?
Yeah.
I ain't had the closing date yet. I just started reading the story.
Oh, you see? Right. I ain't even know how long it's for neither. You see?
We go find
but
out.
This is what I always seen. They always just have the poor, the population under some kind of distress. The people were milking country. Ain't nothing happening to them, but always be on the ground, always have to be going through something. You people in that state of emergency, they're going to kick down any door in Westmoreland. You people are going to do that? Who doors to come and they kick down?
I'm now going to touch on something like that. Call me back. Let me talk. I like the direction you're in this afternoon because this is the kind of conversation that we have to have in this nation. It's high time this come
I'll call back.
Yes, man.
Yeah.
Well, catch where the caller coming from. And I just want to just say this. As a young fella, I was given the opportunity flying in and out of Trinidad and Tobago. And I remember coming. Let's get after Trinidad and Tobago. What going on, big brother? Talk to me. Hey.
A man come out and ball last week, he war. Right? They shut down all these CPEP and URP contracts.
Yeah.
Who was the recipients of those contracts? Access is You interfere with people building butter. Remember these things, these shot calls come from in prison, you know.
Yeah.
These gangsters for life. Many of them inside prison. And they have state contracts outside in URP and thing, you know.
Okay.
Oh, I want you to understand that.
You see?
A lot of URP contracts tied in with these fellas. And if the bread and butter gone.
And caller, that way you talking that is not a today conversation. That is a conversation years now.
Right, but this government is the one that packed and shut it down.
Yeah. Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That is the one that shut down all these URP and CPEP.
Yes.
And it's more URP, these gangsters is being involved in Gary Griffin. There's a man who was he was talking that, you know, he said the benefit from state contracts.
Yeah.
And they're taking the money and buying guns. Even the commissioner of police says so today. He says so today.
He said that today.
So, yes. And these short calls from inside prison is people bread and butter all they did when they expected to stay quiet.
Yeah.
They was going to make trouble in this country. I mean, they're already making trouble, but it was going to raise it to a higher level.
And is that?
But I think it's at least 1 month, right? They can call a state of emergency for, and then the parliament is going to convene to extend it. Yeah, after that. But boy, yeah, more thing happening in this place there, man. I know what to say, but these fellas, them sitting in prison and calling shot, that should never be there. Jammers and all these other cell phone things to intercept these calls and shut them down. And I don't understand why it's not in use.
And just to add something to this, just in case them fellas and them in prison and in the prison and they happen to be taking in this. The problem is not only getting all the contracts, the problem is what the money is being invested in.
Is invested in guns. Higher caliber weapons. That's what you're going for, you know? Gary used to say so. This commissioner of police say so today.
Right.
He said they're going to take any money and putting it forward to. You know, talk about a $60,000, $50,000 gun.
Yeah.
And when they see to buy them gun, they're more sophisticated, more better than the police and regiment using it. Oh, sometimes I don't know if you live in any hotspot areas. There's some of these bullets flying out. It's like Gaza, it's like Iraq and Iran there, no partner.
Yeah.
You see them gun rattling out there, partner.
Yeah.
You know, this thing I used to hear them where I live in, you know. Oh, I can tell you some frightening thing is being in the night.
For real.
Anyway, have a good day.
Yes, man. Thanks for your contribution, Colin. Ladies and gentlemen, let me explain something to us. This state of emergency conversation, there is have a reason why there is called a state of emergency. And this reason here is because there was moving a high-profile criminal. And if you listen to the conversation exactly truly coming from the Commissioner of Police, that is the content and that is the information the Commissioner of Police have. Well, then the fact is we don't know how far down the rabbit hole this thing goes. We don't know how much investment somebody will make in order to get back in power or to continue control. This is the position that we as people. Let's get afternoon.
Yeah, I'm gonna be quick this update. I agree going after the white collar criminal, but only though. But you do that legally, you have to go through documents, you have to find paper trail, you have to find evidence. We talking about everyday crime with snatching people from the road, with people shooting up and killing little children in the fields. This is what we're dealing with. Yes. This is why when you're opening a small business and selling something and they come and robbing you and you have to close down. This is where you're running in a closed store and you're breaking in people's house and you're raping each other. This is what we're talking about. Yes. But I agree, you have to go about white collar criminals. But that is going through the parliament in court. Yes. This is something different we talk about. You see, people like to compare, but they don't understand the reality. They're in the ivory towers, you know. But they have lawyers, you know. Yes. We talking about people kicking on your door and breaking in your house and people destroying your business and people raping each other. And this is what we're talking about. This is what we Who coming to do ease up business and invest in Trinidad if we have this going on? We have to stop this. Yes. All right, Mr. Felix.
Thank you very much, caller. I want to say this, but I want to say this on my brother from because if you notice what it is he speak about, normally with a state of emergency, Lavantil is an area that is targeted. And Lavantil is not targeted just by people saying Lavantil bad. It was conditioned in the mind of Trinidadian citizens that Lavantil is a bad place. In the minds of Trinidadian citizens, Silots is a bad place. What was bad, and this I spoke about this earlier on this year. While we deal with the elements and the shortcomings and we out and about and we asking for a new government and we just would get and God put in place that we get a new government. With a new government in place explaining when UNC win, everybody win. We are the UNC, we are the coalition, and we are TPP. With us. The facts in Trinidad and Tobago is that it have people in this country who couldn't use their home address because of the stigma that was installed by past representatives. Blessed good afternoon,
Mr. Felix.
Doctor.
You know, I think I hear the caller. Hey, people, let me just say this before I go on. Let me just say something. So, I am not against progress.
No.
I am not against the present government. I just want Trinidad and Tobago to be a paradise. I want good for Trinidad and Tobago, regardless of whatever government.
Let me ask you a question.
Right? I don't want us to go back down the road of the last government. We're looking to move forward. And to move forward, we have to put certain things in place. And we must not put things in place to have the population thinking that they get a cut at the same cloth from the same bowl.
That is why I'm now touching on
it. That is all. So these questions that I asking or talking about is not that I hate anybody or want things to go topsy-turvy. It's not about that.
Understood.
I want a government that is transparent, a government that listens to the people, and a government that will act on behalf of the people with minimum inconvenience.
Yes.
Right?
Say no more.
Now people talking about these people who get layoff from CPEP, is bandits and that's using money to buy guns. You can't tell a man when he get money how to use it. You see, this thing I'm talking about with people in higher places looking down at the population as children. Right? If a man get money and he want to buy gun, that is his business. But at the same time, he can't bring in gun. Who bringing in the gun? Who he getting the gun from? You understand me? But they ain't looking in that area.
Yes.
They're looking at the man with buy the gun. They ain't looking at the man with bringing in the gun. Mr. Felix, you remember a man bringing on a whole container of chicken and it had cocaine in it. And when they find out about and they question him about it, he say nobody chicken, he don't know nothing about the cocaine, and he ain't get a charge. If me or you they bring down that same container and talk that, what do you think will happen to me?
We still in Egypt.
So you understand the double standard?
Yeah.
So that is why I have a problem with giving the police too much power.
Lovely.
At a time like now.
Understood,
I don't think it makes sense, and I'm not in agreement with it.
I understand what you're
Full
saying,
stop.
Paula. I'm going to talk.
Mr. Blake, I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna tell you how wicked these police and them is, and how some people minds get tuned in to brutality. How by me in Lavantil? How about tractor going by me? The big fellas will be playing wapi at the head of the truck, and the little fellas playing wapi in the middle of the truck, lower down. And here is them conversation. Have a bench too, so who not gambling, sitting on the bench and talking. And here the conversation them carrying on. When the police make a raid, one gets stamped in the chest and he take it like a man. Another one say when he get cuffed down and he stand up like a man. And them getting kicked to that. You them have that like that's a normal thing, You understand?
Yeah,
These police doing all these things. Now, mind you, I'm not saying it have all the police bad. It have some good police too, But the evils that the bad one doing outweighing the good from the good ones.
That is true.
You see? So when people come in and talking and thinking all them kind of notices that have to go along with the party want and with this one say, I am an objective thinker.
Right. And I don't think
nobody can come and sell me something and just get me to take it just so. I want to know if you sell me a bucket, I must raise it up in the air and look to see if it's a hole. Don't tell me the bucket in a hole. Let me see for myself.
Roger that.
Right?
Yes,
that is just me.
All right, boy.
Right?
Yes, man.
So this state of emergency as a
you don't support it.
I'm not in favor of it.
Lovely.
All right.
Ole, as I was just saying, Kola, and I totally understand where you coming from. But here it is. As I was just touching on Trinidad and Tobago and keeping it factual. But Kola, you make my heart to go down in my depths here now. Trinidad and Tobago, overall Trinidad and Tobago, there are parts in Trinidad and Tobago that is predominantly PNM areas, and this is facts. We have a factual conversation. These areas are predominantly PNM areas. When you check the population and percentage of ethnicity, these areas are predominantly African areas. Right? Likewise, in Trinidad and Tobago, it have areas that is UNC areas. You know, when election call, don't even waste time to send nobody there. Them is UNC areas. The PNM areas have shortcomings. Drainage, everything, same thing normal. Although the PNM has been the longest running government in the history. Matter of fact, the PNM had over 50 years to fix shortcomings in this country. They were supposed to be maintaining. We still have people asking for community center, but our next conversation for next time. And the UNC, we could talk about 3 elections, because all the talk we're talking is Mr. Pandey and Ms. Kamala twice. Right? We ain't going back to ULF and all them things. We're staying right up the road here. UNC had the shortcomings, drainage, and everything. To the people in Trinidad and Tobago, even my boy who now called, I want to put you on a challenge. Jump in a transportation anywhere in the country. Go in any one of the UNC predominant areas and stop and ask anybody in that area if they consider the area a ghetto. It could be Hopo. If they consider it a ghetto, if they feel people wouldn't be able to make it out. The facts is, in this country, the PNM had the responsibility, based on how Marvin Gonzalez is expressing himself, just in case they want to be just directly racial, because this is what they are publicly displaying to the people in this country right now. So just in case Marvin Gonzalez, or a couple of the Africans in this country, Marvin Gonzalez and the PNM's conversation take root in you, my responsibility is to get the facts real. The facts is, when you talk about the places where young fellas coming from home and the police harassing them, it's predominantly the PNM areas. Now, I want to take that and take the conversation the gentleman just said. He said the youths and them playing wappy in the middle of the track. The elder fellas playing in the beginning of the track. And he himself, with his own ears, listening the conversation with them youth men and them kicking off on. The police cuff them in the chest and kick them in the back. This is coming out from the young fellas in the same area where the problem is. It didn't take a rocket scientist to tell you that the brothers and sisters, a lot of the brothers and sisters in that community, the mind is conditioned to stay the way they are. The problem with this brother, he understands that he has value. The responsibility we end up with, we have to make sure and spread the message and let them know they have value. Because we can't continue sitting back and listening, people getting robbed, people getting raped, people getting violated. And the conversation is that we're not giving the police the opportunity to express or execute the task because of what a couple of police did in the past. Partners, I can't have a conversation about that, about the police from point fortnight from point. Every area will have the different activities. Hence the reason why what I'm saying here this afternoon, I hope that especially my African brothers and sisters who living in these areas understand where I am coming from. I never live Lavantil, I never live Silots, I never live in these Bitom, I never live in those areas. But let me tell you the information that I hear. I remember, I was just telling all the young fella flying. And when you're flying, you know, you wear a lot of brands. My mother dressing me up, so I have on jewelry. And I'm moving around my country. And one of the places I was told from small to never ever venture is Lavantil, Silots, Bitom. And as a young fella, all you know we're young. So along the way, it is getting inquisitive because you're growing up. So I fly in and I come in. And I remember meeting a fella in foreign on Utica Avenue, if God served me correctly. And his conversation with the fella was a real good fella. And he telling me he from Lavantil. And he went on to explain that before his family was given the opportunity to come to the United States of America, how poor them was. And they wasn't poor because they didn't have education. The family was a well-educated family. But the problem was where they were living, they couldn't get work. And I find it so unbelievable. Like, what the hell are you telling me about Trinidad? This going on in Trinidad, and he tell me yes. And I remember a time I had came home to visit, and I living in Point. So I like with people in Point. And he had came home. And the conversation was come up and checky. And I remember when the people and them who I are wrong in point, them tell me, boy, don't ever go up there, boy. Don't go up there. And I remember not going, but some years after, he himself always used to tell me, you need to come to Laventille for me to show you why Laventille is like this. This was his perception, because he believed he know why Laventille is like this. He understand the convenience of Silots, so he believe he know why these areas is like this. So, over the period of time, I believe confident because now I turn man. So nobody can tell me nothing more going nowhere. I'm a street man now, so I ain't taking Rob Jesso. And I go on Laventille. I remember reaching up there the evening and you're watching the whole flyover, but it's just normal because you went up on hills and valleys already, so that's a small thing to me. It's when come to night, about 7:30 Lyman, and I come outside and watch the overlook. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have never been to Laventille, if you have never been in that community, just for the view at the overlook, it is one of the most beautiful sights in this country. Now, again, the PNM government had the responsibility to uplift Africans. They say PNM was an African party. But yet still, we sitting down and we talking. Predominantly, all the major African communities in this country is underprivileged. Despite the level of education and educated persons in this country. This is facts. The problem that Laventille end up with, my brother, this is why I keep telling all you, the representative have a lot to play with how the place is represented. So while you have somebody bless, good afternoon, big brother.
Hey, good afternoon, Mr. Felix.
How you do? How you do? Nice to hear from you. How you doing?
I did them giving thanks to life and strength to live to see another day.
Yes, man. Talk to me. Let me know if I talk to you so 5% I'm making. Talk to me because I know you are
I a Laventille man. I born and grew. I from Silots.
Talk to me.
And Laventille upon hills up there. They are supposed to be a tourist destination. Because when you go up on top of the hill up there, you see very far away as you can see, the place up there real nice.
Yes. Yes.
And down there's a PNM stronghold. And they must have put real resources down there, better the lives of the people down there. So they don't care about the people when they're in opposition or what.
Well, that way looking like
I see. Yeah, we can see that because them in purpose for donkey years. One of my brothers from down on the beach down the feet, we total lifestyle. He never see the PNM down there, He brave to see that, It's nothing wrong with them. So all them years, the PNM never pass show, so them don't care about all of them. Show them worse than the white line in the road.
Come on. What you saying?
But it's supposed to be the local of the plan down because they never forsake the PNM, Mr. Felix.
True.
Even like your constituency down there, like Labray and Point Fortin, never forsake the PNM, but people down there wake up and smell the fresh coffee. I voted for a party over and over and over, and nothing happening. Me getting a betterment to my community, me seeing a proper roads, me seeing a proper schools, no drainage, nothing at all, no recreation center. It's done overgrown with bush and all them kind of things, Felix. But I have to wake up. We not voting on no race, boy. Them opinion to do push race. People getting more smart and all that. Financial politics with the PNM like to push. With that technology, we getting all the good information.
Yes.
And we voting for better opportunities to be churning on them by this election for be churning.
True. And the next one too.
When I went and vote Mr. Felix, says me and my 5-year-old, my 2-year-old, we went to the voting booth.
Performance.
And I went and voted for my 2 daughters.
You show them how this thing had to be done.
Yeah. Well, they go.
Yes, man.
Mr. Felix, I was up to explain and you keep up the good work.
Thank you, brother.
I'm blessed. But Mr. Felix, one more thing.
Talk to me.
I see a former PNM boss, Ira George, sitting on a board and this and that board there, they call it a board, and PNM Ramsey Moore. I know she's the president of Panchenbago, but she up in the front, she sell out the piece of land, rob up and kiss up with Rowley and give away a piece of land. I want to see every duty and TT, a man like you and all them things in the papers soon after the UNC playing game that the UNC active sign them and I felt much a period full. So if you don't go for me, I want to realize KFC.
Thank you much.
That's a bonfire, you know. My God.
Thank you much, caller. Thank you much. And I will people standing up for me. Bless good afternoon, caller.
Hi, good afternoon, Mr. Felix.
Bless good afternoon.
Mr. Felix, people want change, but they want change, but they don't want to make changes to get that change. You understand?
Yeah.
Everybody, I want the government solve crime. We want the government solve crime. They clamping down on the government. 81 murders since the government. The government, although the state of emergency wasn't made particularly for the crime in the country, but for a particular instance that's happening, they don't want a SU. I find that it should have a SE with a curfew because we must be willing to give up something in order to achieve something.
Yeah.
You cannot continue doing the same thing over and over and expect to see changes.
Yes.
So people who fight in this thing because they don't want to upset the lives of the law-abiding citizens. Listen, these are what the things we have to take in order to have the stability that we need. And if all you get upset for a month to get 10 years of peace, then so be it. But all you can be clamping on, all you want change, all you want things to happen, all you want betterment, and then all you don't want to make us a small sacrifice. Everything in this life. When people study and you feel they don't want to party and thing with their friends, but no, they need to make the sacrifice and study in order to become the doctors and the lawyers that they are today.
Yeah.
There must be some sort of sacrifice to have change.
True.
That's my point, Mr. Fear. My second point is all of a sudden the previous government knows about all the grants that it have in Trinidad and Tobago. Yet still, when I had achieved getting 3 of those grants from the government because I had from the UNC coalition government from 2010 to 2015, when they came into power in 2015, they took it back. They said I was double dipping because I had a food card and a special needs child grant and something else.
Sister,
you understand?
Them people take back them things from differently able people. They take it back from old people. They take it back from sick people. I don't know if people understand.
I'm telling you, I have a special needs child. When I took in the doctor, the public doctor's records, it says that she's 95% disabled. And they took it back. They took it back and I could not work. I had to take care of the child. I had to stay home because the price to pay a babysitter was more than a daily pay. It was more than how much I was getting paid daily.
Listen.
They're telling me 300 to mind the child and I working for 250 a day. You understand?
You see that conversation there? That everybody in Trinidad and Tobago have enough common sense to know. If you want to make it political, you ain't bouncing up nobody in the UNC and going home and sleep with that kind of information on the head. Because were you telling me there? Sister, the burden just got a little more heavy because it's so much cases that I heard about that. It's so much.
Yes. You understand? And then they
willingly they qualify, they done qualify, they have everything. And you
qualify. And they say when they came into power, they want everything to go through they wanted to through biometrics. So they let me come in and took my fingerprints and eye scan, 3 different eye scan. I feel like why my eye bad today. All kind of thing they make me go through. You understand, Mr. Felix? I go back 3 times. Not yet. Things don't do yet. Mr. Felix, this is 10 years after, and they never called me back for it. Praise the Lord, I get up on my own and went and learned hairdressing so I could stay home and work and take care of my child. You understand? And then now, when that happened now, and COVID come and I had to close down my business, and I go now to get COVID relief. You know what these people tell me? These people said to me that I got enough in the previous regime, meaning the UNC. And Mr. Philip, I voted for the PNM and that. I voted for them. And they took it back and tell me I get enough in the previous regime. You understand? They made me a UNC, and I am UNC for life now. I am UNC for life. The PNM could never get my finger again, Mr. Felix.
Thank you much, miss.
Have a blessed day.
Yes, thank you much for your contribution. Lavantil, Moruga, Silots, Pinal Saparia, Point Fortin, Labre, Trinidad, Tobago. All you understand what it is I am saying. Let me just address this comment on the screen here. Mr. Felix, you need to be balanced. You cannot allow people to be saying that people who was working CPEP using, taking their money and buying guns. To the person who put up this comment here, I don't know how it is the conversation came your way, or probably we might be saying something that offending you. But let me explain something to you. Everybody in this country know that the CPEP worker on the ground, if you're listening to the conversation, this is to the CPEP workers, not the contractors. To the CPEP workers on the ground, if you're listening to the magnitude of the conversation we having, we actually telling our government when this country get up and running, we need an increase with CPEP, if CPEP say. This is what we're speaking about. We have enough sense to know that the CPEP worker, the worker on the ground, the raker, the cutman, these people, we know that all wasn't being paid enough money to buy a $50,000 gun. So if this is the conversation of how people bringing it across to all you and telling all you that UNC people saying CPEP workers, no. That is not what the commissioner is saying, and ain't nobody in the UNC or the coalition or in this country would even say something as irresponsible as that. We don't know that the money was not making sense. We know this. Bless good afternoon, caller. We know this.
And I did it. Can we do that again?
Bless afternoon.
They will stand corrected until these people never posted up all these things, and especially the man from Lavantin. Is the URP people who was giving the contracts. Gary Griffith was on record as saying they were giving contracts to gangsters in that environment. The commissioner of police this morning say so too.
Yes. Yes.
If you listen to the man's speech this morning when he gave it, he said URP contractors, right? Are gangsters. Yes. Some of them are taking the money and buying guns with it. Is that me say so?
Yes, that is the conversation from the commissioner
of police. Yes, two commissioner of police say so. So they must get their facts right.
Yes.
You understand?
Yes.
That's a part and parcel of what we're facing today. Yes. Because they can't get their money back. They want to make the place ungovernable, as they say. Right? So all this is part and parcel of what we're seeing now, you know. You cut the head of the snake, and the rest of the police still wrong in the country together. Right? And them calling on shots from prison, you know, behind prison doors, you know. So, have a good day.
Yeah, thank you much, caller. Not Cake, what's going on with you? Gay Purple Rishi on your program again? I don't know what's going on with you and Rishi Not Cake, but let me don't be on that now. You understand? Because Rishi could be who he want to be. Rishi's a citizen. If Rishi went to school, Rishi's a tradesman or whatever Rishi is. What Rishi doing behind his bedroom, that has nothing to do with me. I don't come here and sit down and talk about me and my wife. Explicit behaviors when we behind we closed doors. So this is not what we entertaining here. So if you know Rishi gay and thing and you trying to tackle Rishi or whatever it is, leave that be now. Leave that be. That is not the conversation today. Big brother, talk to me.
Mr. Felix Island, your callers and them, boy, you have real good callers. The callers calling and making real sensible contribution.
Yeah.
Even if I'm not in agreement with some of them, I still like the contribution they're making. They're making very sensible contribution. That is what I'm saying, that the population not thinking like before.
Right.
They hear the kind of contribution coming out, be it for or against, say, yeah. But the lady, ma'am, I hear you about when you talk about with change, it's a give up thing for change. But ma'am, who does give up thing for change? Only one section of the society does give up thing for change. We give up thing in for change 2010. We give up thing for change last year. We give up thing for giving up thing for change again this year. How much time we have to give up thing for change? How much time? You understand?
Yeah.
We have to relax sometime, like like why saying like
caller, I just want to add something to what you're saying too. I who living down in Point 14, your experience with the community and the police, I would be irresponsible to think that I even experience a fraction of what you went through and what you going through still. So this is something that all of us have to take into consideration too, because the level of your conversation where you telling me there and what it is we heard coming from up there, boy, watch me. These people try to convince us and tell us that nothing good in Lavantil.
I'm telling you, the commissioner come from Lavantil. Pan was invented in Lavantil. You know much thing that we enjoy in the country today that came from Lavantil.
Don't worry, we go talk it over the years and we go bring it out, caller.
But you know something, Mr. Felix, I will call you personally and have a conversation with you because it's a thing that I can't tell you over the air here, right? But I just want you to hear some of the things why the population not standing up with the police. I just wanted you to hear some of the things.
Yes, and watch me.
You understand?
As much as you talk it there, I am 100% sure that the police will have a representative or somebody taking in the program, and they want to fix it, and it had to start some way.
Yeah.
And when you
why don't you start
before
you think about
what I like with what it is you clarified today is that a lot of damage was done. I like how you make sure and clarify that.
Yes. Yeah. Now, Mr. Felix, you ever, well, I only talk about Lavantil, but all over the country feeling the might of the police, eh?
Yes.
And let me ask you this question. You ever get stopped by a police for a seatbelt or anything like that?
Yeah. Yeah.
How they talk to you? Nice.
Now, what's my dad telling you? I just give the police the play. Let me tell you what I experienced the other day while I was working on the radio. I go to check my wife on work. Jump back in my van, put my seatbelt. I pull off because I reach up the road on time. When I'm pulling off, what's my brother mean like to tell you? A police van passed said, hey, put your seatbelt by. Partner, I swing and go down the next road, but I put on the seatbelt. Me and all them police and them make the wrongs. Stop me by the Chinese. So they come out the car. And when they explain to me, it's because them on a mission, them looking for people who carry drugs. And all we tell you is put on your seatbelt and you make a zigzag drive, no brother. And what's me? When they did now start, it start kind of rough. But when I started telling police, I say, officer, listen to me, I don't know the van already. Go ahead and do what you have to do, please. Because I have to go to work. And within that day, he just calmed down and then we started talking to him and that way he started explaining about the looking for people and things.
Mr. Felix, let me just tell you this. I went to drop my wife to get a car to go into Port of Spain. Come out to help her to put something in the vehicle. Jump back in the vehicle. I said, man, always have on the seatbelt. Yeah. And jump back in the seat and while I'm going up, you will have a roadblock. So a police can say, one place seatbelt. I said, oh shit, and I pull it on one time.
Yeah.
I pull at the side and I get a ticket. But the police that was giving me the ticket, I want to tell you that good and bad. Yeah. The police who was giving me the ticket now end up pointing out two more things on the vehicle that I could get tickets for.
Right.
But you only give me that one ticket. Mr. Felix, you know what I did? I went and paid the ticket and I went in the station and asked the officer that gave me the ticket and I personally thanked him for giving me that ticket and not giving me the rest of the ticket. Partners, because the rest of the ticket he would have given to me with the point system and I lost my license.
Partners,
So so that is what I'm saying. I am very balanced. I'm not coming to bash and talk. I just want a better Trinidad and Tobago.
No,
but things where I know and experience where I have, somebody things I cannot talk on your program.
Yes.
Maybe I'll call you personally and a video talk thing. But the state of emergency, the getting right in the country, that is a no. I'll go on with that.
Thank you much, caller. Bless, good afternoon, caller. Big brother, how you doing?
Hi there, good afternoon, Bless, brother Felix. I told you the stars. And Cherry Live.
Cherry Live.
I want to tell you, listeners, the 500 and change who on YouTube that advertise early. All who does make the little cake, the fruit cake.
Yes, man.
Or advertise with Uncle Felix.
Yes,
so all they can line up all the little. All the little homemade ham.
Yes.
Yeah, then we get it going. Uncle Felix will take a little $20 for light bill and have $10 to talk it out.
Yes.
So that's small. A little $50. Uncle Felix is about promoting Trinidad and Tobago and sharing the love. Love, you understand? Love me tender, love me sweet. Yeah. All the little cottages, all the people who had a little kitchen and they make a little sweet bread and hot bread and nice homemade bread
yes,
with
man.
little coconut in it. Advertise on Uncle Felix and we will get it there to all you. Come on, then we get it going. Uncle Felix is about validation. So Uncle Felix,
big brother,
have a blessed weekend.
Yes,
and here what's going on. The police will always be police and citizen will always be citizen.
Yes, man.
But the attitude of the citizen supposed to coincide with the citizen of the officers and them.
Yes.
And when you are hasty and you have all your rights and you want to tell the officer he has no right to stop me and talk to me now, I'm busy. That is disrespectful. Yeah. So when you approach with gentleness, you'll get gentleness.
Yes.
But when you approach with aggressiveness, you'll get aggressiveness. But when the set who don't have the respect for the officers and them, and they confronting them, and their life is in danger, how you want me to reply, Uncle Felix? So I am asking nobody, you know.
True.
But what I say, as a society, we have to learn to respect. Yes, if they are aggressive, we partner. If we be right, we will conquer. Because here what's going on. They are, remember, they are frustrated under stress and peer pressures.
Just like everybody
because they know what is going on and they come out to try to make it a difference.
Yes.
So when we talk about, yes, we know the good, the bad, and the ugly, but we never talk about the smelly. So here what's going on. Let them do the work and let me do the work. And if we cooperate with them, it was so easy. Because, Brother Felix,
yes, man.
I saw in Point 14 have dark spots, have this big mango tree, big motel tree, shady spots, right? But here what's going on is that the commissioner of police said, call him director, and he'll come and trim them branch on them so the sunlight can shine, yeah? And he'll put a street light where the dark.
Yes, man.
But anybody doing it? No, because all we have a trickle-down effect, right? And I want to tell you, PNM opposition leader, you're doing a very good work. But here the good work you're doing. You're doing a good work to keep in opposition. Have a President weekend, everybody. God love you. And let's make Trinidad and Tobago the place it used to be, where we could talk, laugh, and make jokes.
Yes, man.
And have fun under the sun. Bless.
Yes, man. Thank you much, caller. Thank you much. And Trinidad and Tobago, I must say thank you very much to you all, our loyal supporters. Yeah, two people was calling back to back. Let's good afternoon, caller.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I just want to say that I'm from Laventille, and in Laventille, I was taught, my parents taught me to respect myself.
Yeah.
And if you respect yourself, you respect others. And this is where I come from in Laventille.
Yes.
You are taught respect. So this downgrading thing they're bringing down in Laventille is what government have done to make your Laventille people look small.
Yeah.
My children, I taught them to respect themselves. And so they will respect others. Race was never in our program. So we had Indian right there, we had Chinese right there, and all of we was a family.
Yes.
And this is my contribution.
Thank you much, caller. Thank you much, Lavantel. And this is what I say in Trinidad and Tobago. We are shortcomings that you're dealing with. Bless good afternoon, big brother.
Yes, afternoon, Mr. Felix.
Bless afternoon.
First time caller to your program. I've been listening to you for a little while now, and I'm appreciative of the work that you're doing.
Yes, man. Thank you much. Thank you much.
One thing that was mentioned today about the SOE, right? I have some mixed feelings about that, in the sense that I don't think the police and them have done everything that was necessary to reach at this point of calling a SOE.
SOE.
There are certain things that could have been done on that law with the intelligence that they have. And I'm not seeing or I'm not hearing that they went to that extent. And in doing so, they might have been able to fall in the whole group of them fellas and them. But you see, that kind of intelligence, I don't know if the TPPS have it, or they just don't know how to go about doing it, or what.
Yeah.
But it has some what is called covert operations that could be done.
Yes.
To cancel out these fellas and them. I'm not talking about, when I say cancel them out, calling everybody. When you hear you're arresting from Tom, Dick, and Harry. Go right back to Granny, if you understand what I say. But them fellas and them not doing the work. Them fellas and them not doing the work.
Sense, caller.
They just frustrating the population. I think Mr. Alexander and I'm supposed to level the youth on them fellas and them early o'clock, because that ain't making sense. I don't see that making any sense at all. They tried it last year into this year.
Caller.
Now they come back and they do the same thing again.
Caller, this is why I'm telling you straight. This is why, because even self in the former administration, part of the problem was PP. And honestly, we have to be real. If you're going offshore and you don't have the right PPE, you can't go. If you're going to work,
definitely, I agree.
Yeah,
I agree.
So this is us, we the people, understanding that too much of our brothers and sisters was vandalized, robbed, raped. Oh God, the list goes on. And if this is the investment that is being asked, and the police service is given the assurance, because just as in the middle of the conversation, you're hearing people saying police kicking down people door. So it have police who have no problem going and get it done. But if we don't go adequately, the job might take 15, 20 people. We are 8 men with good bulletproof vests. Then we have a problem, so we say we sacrificing the rest. You can't send we fellas like pigs.
No, you can't send sheep in a wolf den.
Yeah. So I understand the shortcoming what we're dealing with, and I understand what it is, because what you saying to have points, because it's not like the police service started yesterday. I understand where you're coming
from. But Mr. Felix, it has some undercover operations that them fellas could have been running, right?
Yes.
That could have mashed up this whole thing long time, you know.
What I like with it is that you're verbalizing it and you're letting our authorities know this is what we expect going forward, because remember, them who paying for it, you know. This new government, by the next budget, paying for every single thing in this country. This is why we're watching how they're moving and they're going and dig out the drain. They ain't complaining. They ain't making excuses despite too much money missing. And listen, just like how they're pulling up on this one for investing this amount of money and all, they can't tell we. They know we will ask the same questions.
But definitely, I mean to say, well, at least for me, right, at this present time, this present regime is showing some accountability.
Yes,
right?
Yeah.
And I'm appreciative of that.
Yes, yeah.
The thing is, Mr. Felix, if you think about policing, right? Especially in the jail and those places and things where you know that all these phone calls are coming out and all this kind of thing. Why not run an operation? run a special ops operation, right? You tap them phone and them, you send them in, you get the information that is necessary. You have a man inside there, and you work covertly.
All right.
And you get the information, and then you do so. And when you compile everything into evidence, you bust everybody throat.
Well, caller, we keep hearing that things going in place, so we watching because the money had to start to spend. At least they ain't give me no short. At least on the government end, them ain't give me no excuse. Them know that they had to buy bulletproof vests. They know they had to upgrade the system. So at least them ain't give me no zigzag.
Mr. Felix, between me and you, this thing I talking about, right?
Yeah.
Don't take much effort, you know.
I know that. But let me tell you something. In order for Mr. Alexander to go and demand performance, he had to deliver. Even Mr.
Well, that is a given. That is a given.
Yeah.
That is a given. If you want production, you have to make the investment.
Yeah, you have to make the investment.
Right? If you don't make the investment, don't expect to get nothing back.
Thank you. Thank you.
Right? Anyhow, it's a pleasure talking to you for the first time I've called in your program, but I've been listening for quite a while.
But I feel free to
and
call
I'm appreciative of the information and the work that you are doing.
Yes, ma'am.
So have a blessed afternoon.
Yeah, same to you and the family. Blessed afternoon, caller.
A blessed evening again, Brother Felix.
Talk to me.
Brother Felix.
Wait.
Here what's going on? Yeah, I want to ask you a question. No, here what's going on? I don't want exchange. I want change. I want meaningful change. I don't want the same thing. I want it not with slight pepper, not the scorpion pepper. I want it with a flavor pepper, but not sweet pepper. I want it not with pimento, but not. I don't give me North Carolina raper. But here what's going on? I will take a Congo pepper. No, I don't want Congo pepper. I want Scotch bonnet. Here what's going on? Which one of the pepper you want?
I'll take a scorpion.
No, but you see, when we give you pepper, that you have to use it in moderation and adopt to the taste and get to like the taste because you want pepper. Yeah. Don't tell me get 100 different pepper to give you. But here what's going on. I will say plain. If you're on your show, it's there where we get the forum to tell people when everybody wants their own thinking and view to share for others to follow. That is why the PNM run away with the treasury. Suffer the PNM support, their own supporters. Right? Give them nothing. Then coming out now and tell them that it have all the grant. I want to know that if when they drop the bomb in Israel up there, right? Then 2,000 pound mass cluster bomb, like it now open the door and that rather than start to fly out. But you see, that is when self-opinionated people, selfish people want to push a narrative. Because that is why teenage pregnancy, right? Don't touch my child, don't tell my child nothing. But your child defend, your child interfering with people. What the mother saw, what the father saw. Then you mind them a child and check it. 6 generations.
Yes.
And yet still, they tell you, when they go down the road, they can't tell a man, mother so and so again. They say, good morning, sir. You want to say you take away your rights. So when the people who take away your rights, you're calling for the authorities who supposed to govern it to help you get back your rights. You're saying that what? So what you want to do? This thing is not a dolly house that you say, girl, come and turn some muddy the sardine pan and drink some water and say, then I eat a nice. So, no, reality is reality. Then you hear they say all kind of stupid comment on it. It's collateral damage. It's natural. It's not we. How much you want we do? Choose your man. Choose your man. And you know, it's not a golf course, but there's no hole in one. So you see, we have to be at a society and a collective society to know that here what's going on. Who benefited from the obstruction It's time you get a new job. And is enough is enough.
Yeah.
You don't hold the bull by the tail, you hold it by the horn. Right? And here we're going on. When you're milking a cow, why you just pull? You just pull 6 nipples, you don't pull the breast. So have a pleasant evening, Uncle Felix.
Thank you much, brother. Thank you much. Big brother.
Thank you much, brother.
Yeah, well, I call and talk about problems. So let me call and give some kind of insight and solution. Listen, I listened to a program yesterday, and I think it's Harvey Boris sending a message stating that they can't go forward or ask a question or is a message. Anyhow it go, here how it went. If you could go forward by looking backward. So when I analyze the thing, I see what he talking about them that was going forward and looking backwards to the crash.
Head on.
You understand?
Yes.
So we don't want that. We don't want that going on with this party. I feel that what a lot of crime could be solved because due to the help from the public.
Yes.
Right. But because of the separation between the police and the public now, that they're not getting through. Right? Yes. And the public does know everything, more thing than the police. The public does know, but they're not getting through because of the vision. I feel that what the police should do is start having like cottage meeting in different areas, especially the areas that the calling hotspots, to build up the confidence of the people once again. To start back falling back in love with the police.
Yes.
Because I have a sister that police and we don't talk to her, you know. Because all of them had this brainwash training. We talk right now, we don't talk. Right? Because they have a way about them that they feel like they're better than you and they could do you anything and you can't do nothing about it. Right? So come back to people, have cottage meeting. And try and build back our relationship with people. And to whoever in charge of the police, give all your officers training, give them some PR training to know how to talk to people, especially when they're dealing with elders. Or they could start there before coming and bringing a state of emergency to have us on that dress again. So we move from the government a gloom and doom. We will have a government of hope now. Now bring the distrust now. Please, I beg you, Have a blessed evening.
Thank you very much, caller. Caller said something very important, and I hope the relevant authorities listening. Because the heights is there's a disconnection between the people and the police in Lavantil in different areas. And we must make the connection. This is where we come in as bloggers, as supporters, because at the end of the day, we want every single person in this country to be a part of the upliftment of this country. So with that, even with attracting the police is by having community activities. You have little sports, they start to bring out their little cricket match, things that is uncommon in those areas. We start to have these things, and if it is you don't have the ground, well, come on, we use the roads. But it is you feel it at different parts of the country, people cricket match on hill and all kind of thing. So, but we have to create the environment so we get the police in the space, because we have to start to condition the mind of the children to start with, you know. Because the elders and them, we have to show them. You can't just come and talk the talk. Talking the talk would not open the door. And this is to the relevant authorities. We have to show them that we're willing to use a different approach. Let's good afternoon, caller.
Hey, brother. How are you doing?
Talk, I'm okay, and yourself?
I'm not too bad. So I started with, the tuning into show, so I had to tune in. When I tune in, I realized the SOE situation. So I paused the show and I went to find out what this SOE situation is about. Because again, as we all as a nation know what to go through no type of SOE.
Yes.
So from what I picked up so far in the SOE is that government through intelligence via the police has found out that there is some form of a threat in the country that they need to call a SOE.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Now, as a thinker, I would think that the last thing that this new government would do it's called a SOE because number one, you don't want to look like the past
You wouldn't want
administration,
to look good, yeah.
and number two, the results or the non-results of this SOE will weigh heavy on going forward
Yes.
in this administration.
Yes.
So I would think that the government would have had a good time to sit and think about if this is a necessary SOE
Yeah.
in order to call,
Yeah.
right?
Yes, I believe you will have to
Now,
convince the government. You gotta come good.
right. And government, not only the police have to come good, but the government have to weigh that
Yes.
as they go forward because even though the police might say it, the government will pay for it,
Yes.
right? So, with all of that being think about now, we don't have all the information and we have to rely on our relevant leaders that they are carrying us in the right direction and we have to say stop the salt until the soon done,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
So, with that being said now, I understand the caller here call a couple of times. I understand where he is at, where he say he want the same thing, and I understand the fact that police, some of them abuse their authority in times like this. But what I am thinking about is not these small matters. Why would this government need to put an SOE if it's not something that is very important,
Yeah.
which is stressful to the country?
Yeah.
So I am looking at that aspect more than my right being infringed
True.
or more than if we pay for the same thing, we look at the same thing over. Because I am logically thinking that this SOE will shape this administration going forward.
Yeah.
If this is a misstep by this government, they will pay for it.
Yes.
And they have to be very careful on the steps that they make. And I don't think that if they do not see a urgent problem that is facing them, and as we are coming up to our coup date is around the corner, and all of these things lining up, I don't think that this government would call a SOE if it was not
necessary.
Needed.
Point.
And we need to ask ourselves, if we had two commissioner of police that came and said that the URP was a way of empowering these people to get these guns and these rifles. Think about 10 years and say $50,000 a month for 10 years.
Yes.
What these guys and them would have in their pockets going forward.
Thank you.
It will put our country in a very precarious situation.
Yeah.
Now, we as a people need to help our authorities in any which way we can.
Yes.
If we see something, to say
something. Just like what you call
so whether this is so I think that we need to watch going forward as a threat to our national security.
Yes.
And we watch this as we go forward to see what will be the end result.
Thank you.
Because the AG said that he is not like the last SOE. There will be an end result because they have information and they're going to act on this information.
Yes.
So I'm hoping to see what will be the end result of this SOE because it's going to shape this administration going forward.
Thank you very much, caller.
Have a blessed day, brother.
Yeah, same to you, brother. Ladies and gentlemen, and I must tell you, while we're going forward, there are those who support the SOE and those who don't. I continue to reiterate, I have full confidence in my government. And as the caller said, I took that into conversation as soon as I get the information. Because this government understand that this would be a scar. But something had to be in motion for it to be the alternative. And with the SOE, we're looking for results. And again, we had the relevant persons representing as the government. Big brother. Big brother, blessed afternoon.
Oh, big brother, like you're going over time today?
Yeah, so let me run over a little bit. I have a little paperwork to show already before I come on.
Well, you have a blessed and safe weekend, you and the family,
Yes,
and
man.
that's best. You see that stage of emergency, all them commissioner, past commissioner, present commissioner, them know Europe is a political tool, and them so-called them so-called gangsters, and then the PNM know that too, you know. So when they give one man, you give him 40-something gang and 20-something gang. That is bacchanal and corruption and war. That was called the bacchanal in Lavanti. Yes. So yes. So them know that. So we let them work with the police and them and try to bring down the crime and thing in and certain nonsense. Every shooting all over the place and all them kind of thing in it. But they try and they got them guns and them maybe do 3 guns and them issues now. And some of them Venezuela, them the borders open to them, Mr. Felix.
We can't even get to that conversation because people fighting down the government trying to lock down and fix the country. And we can't even get to that conversation yet.
And it have plenty legal Spanish just walking around the place. Them are part of the crime in this country going on to the curriculum. That crime I see going on there.
Come on.
Chopping up this and chopping up that. Look at the 22-year-old girl who passed away. You know if the man will pay some Spanish to do that kind of work. So Mr. Felix, you get serious with that thing. I love to understand. We go find them.
We go find them. Great time, brother. Thank you. So in Trinidad and Tobago, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, family and friends. Again, you know, it's your boy Irvin and all. This is our next episode of Real Talk while we continue to discuss real issues. I have something to show. Oh, gosh. Let me take this one more call before I look off. Bless, good afternoon, caller.
Yeah, but I'm because Mr. Felix, you see, this is why people, they had a press conference today. They did not listen to the press conference. All they hear is for you. The COP say he took the young leaders and put them in a different location. So communication is not easily.
Yes.
Because everyone's saying these young leaders in jail calling shots.
Yeah, that didn't know.
But they didn't listen to that part, you know.
Yeah, that didn't normal conversation.
They didn't listen to that part.
Yeah.
They only listen to the SOE. So now with these young leaders who is to call the shots, the man have them in a different cell with communication is minimal.
Let me just say this.
And they're going to start to weed out.
You see the first,
all right,
the first man who called in? All right, thank you much, call. You see the first gentleman who called in from Lavantil? That is a serious community problem, and this is something that we as people, we as Trinbagonian citizens, we cannot ignore that. Because Lavantil, but I quite don't point, and I could tell you that Lavantil was stigmatized. Silots, different parts, they were stigmatized. And it had people, we was, honestly, I'm not accepting that in point 14. So it just boiled back down to a representative. So Lavantil, if only reached to the point, Silots, if only reached to the point, that already to actually blame the representative, those who actually represented you in the past. When you reach to that point, you're going to see how everything starts to look different in this country. Like facts. You notice what's going on with the caller giving his opinion, and whether we're talking about SOE or we're talking about roads, we're entitled to have different opinions. But what we do know, and what it is all of us trust, we trust our governing authority, we trust that they listen to us, and we trust that they work on our behalf. This is what we're functioning with. And we're living by that. So, as we navigate in Trinidad and Tobago, I continue to say, too much communities was left without the relevant support, and it's only the representatives to blame for that. This number has been calling. I say I have to answer this before I go. Blessed afternoon, caller.
Hey, Felix, good afternoon.
Afternoon time.
Boy, it's hell to get to you, boy.
No, I see the call, but every time you call, I want to call. So I say I have to answer you before I go there from here today.
All right, thanks. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Now, I just is from Tobago, eh?
Yeah, Tobago, big up yourself,
This is
man. Tobago, when you
this
come
is
up your
Tobago,
phone.
and I'm glad to call you.
When you come up your
Yeah.
phone, make
Yeah,
sure
nah.
and tell everybody that I say in Tobago, when Felix say I love all in Tobago, I love Tobago. Go ahead, man.
Right. Yeah, nah. These people and them, I don't know, some of them people is here and they don't understand, or they is here and they don't want to understand.
Yeah.
How did the gentleman just talk, say that the SOE disrupting he or have he on edge? The SOE is not for he.
No.
It's not for the general public.
True.
They have this thing. They understand what the commissioner said this morning or what? They understand it. They just keep saying they want no SOE. They want no SOE, but the SOE is not for us, not for the public. The SOE is for what they want to do.
Yes.
To curb what they see what's coming on.
Yes. Based on
Because
what they explain.
the commissioner explained that, is it? He said everybody's supposed to go back to their own thing, go to your party, go to this. So how you gonna be handicapped and you can't go party? And you can go party. The people don't understand what the man say. Yeah. The man don't understand. People just, maybe some of them people just want it to be so. No, they just want to be stable, no, yeah.
I don't think it's
yeah,
that.
The man, the SOE and SOE.
Kola, let me tell you something. I don't think it's that. I think seeing that the conversation done in the air, we're just trying to fix the problems. I think it's that.
But I know they're trying to fix it. I know they're trying to fix the problem. I know the commissioner are trying to fix the problem. Yeah. But the people who calling you saying they want no SOE, and SOE have them uncomfortable. How SOE could have you uncomfortable when the police officers say everybody go along and do the business as usual?
Normal. Yeah.
Normal. Yeah. So when people talk about the SOE, have them uncomfortable.
Yeah, but Kola, let me just say to this, right?
They don't understand.
No, let me just say to this. Are you living in Point Fortin and you might be living in a different zone? Well, I catch what went on with the caller in the first caller, and then we get to.
But there are about three of them talk. There are about three of them talking that same thing.
But the first caller, and then we get to realize he called back and he say from Laventille. What is actually the facts? If on a normal day, check what I'm telling you here. On a normal day in Trinidad and Tobago, if you living in Laventille, you cannot use your address to get employment. What happened? Basically, what it is I get from him there is that the brothers and sisters in Laventille, once the word SOE come about, is because they are stigmatized. And anybody can tell you, you call one of the high-risk areas.
But it's not Laventille alone. The people living, when you guys are calling from jail, and not from Laventille alone.
True. But what's going on is that Laventille speaking up because Laventille want to fix the problem. That is why I realized it today. Because you notice he called back and he also say, bring in the police and let we have cottage meetings and things. So which means Laventille trying to remedy the problem.
Yeah, but they can't remedy the problem because if they the only way they can remedy the problem when they know activity is going on, they call the police.
True. That is
if they know this is bad man or this is
same thing the man say. You see something, say something. Same thing.
Yes.
Say yes. That's what the man say.
But if you see thing and you don't want to say nothing, and then you make it escalate, who will blame the police?
True. It escalate far.
Because the police ain't have eyes all over Trinidad and Tobago.
But if it's one thing
which they should have eyes already with camera. But they say what? Every hotspot supposed to have camera.
Yeah.
Hidden from the public.
True.
Understand? But they see what's going on. Everybody seeing what's going on.
To make the investment. I totally agree with you.
But I say they misunderstand what the man's saying.
Yeah.
And they using this SOE. I against the SOE. I against this. Against it for what? When you can go party? Is that SOE to make you stop party? Or go wherever you want to go?
Or go shopping or something, or go to the grocery.
You can go anywhere you want to go. Nobody bothering you.
But while
them doing there, they know who Them know the targets and them know who they're dealing with.
Thank you. And you as a citizen, if it is your person and you see some kind of activities, get yourself in a safe corner.
Simple as that.
Yeah. Get yourself in a safe corner. That's basically what I understand it. You're going up the road, the police the police tax it to drop your window and license and registration. That's not nobody thing. Like, we don't go through no long talk.
Simple as that. Yeah, but some of them guys the thing but they're better than the police.
Nah, that didn't mind me trying to
you can't disrespect the police.
And this is what I'm telling them, because the police is our own family. That's the same family.
I'm telling you.
Yeah, that's our family. So disrespecting the police is like disrespecting your family.
If the country has laws, and them is there to enforce the law.
Yes.
You can't be breaking the law and think you better than them. Nah, man.
You want to walk down the road and smoke the biggest joint that have wrong the place.
But they're stupid. It's only black people do these things. It's only black people do these stupid things, boy. Because they think they're bad.
For real, for real.
Black people think they're bad. They're better than everybody. They can do what they want. Right? Felix? Felix, I'm glad you answered me, boy. Appreciate that.
Yes, man. Thank you much for the call.
Yeah, man. Yeah, brother. Yeah, brother. Let people stop blaming the police.
For real. For real. Thank you much.
Yeah, all right then, Felix. Take care.
Yeah, take care. Well, let me do this. For real, for real. Before I leave from here, 32 minutes past 2 and I head out. Right? But here is. My responsibility is just to clarify for you. Don't let nobody encourage you in Trinidad and Tobago that all the police bad. The conversation is that have police who practice rogue activities in the past. We gave our government an opportunity. We give them a task. We give them a mandate. Our government responsibility is to put the relevant structures in place. Today, we have a commissioner of police. So before I leave from here, I will be responsible if I don't ask you to pray for our commissioner of police and the police service. Because this conversation had to change. It can't be them police. It's we police. Like we cousins, we aunts, we sisters, we uncles. It's we police. And based on the stigma that have been distributed throughout this country when it comes to certain communities, and again, I ask you, I challenge anybody. Predominantly, when you check the African communities, it's PNM communities. And why did PNM allow their own communities to become high-risk areas? Why the same people who contributing and helping to build this country, today these people have to fight, to ask, to go basically shopping, to go in the market, to go in the bank and come back, these people getting robbed. So they basically asking the new government that come in, and watch me, the nice thing with the new government understands its mandate. Trinidad and Tobago are telling all something. I have full confidence in my government, full confidence in my prime minister, full confidence in my 2 ministers in security. I have full confidence in what is about to take place in Trinidad and Tobago. But before I leave here, I must touch back on a piece of disrespect that took place. Again, as a man like to work with paperwork. Mr. Marvin Gonzalez went on a rant in Trinidad and Tobago, despite the fact that I have in a conversation, and I could tell you predominantly the most poor areas in this country is PNM areas. If you have a PNM in this country, could come up on social media, come up on YouTube right now and debate that. Some of the most poor people is the same people who telling you the PNM till are dead. They don't have one person in this country under the red, white, and black flag could come and bring an argument or dispute what I'm telling you today. And while I'm telling you that, I'm telling you, it also have some Africans who did their part. And I am 100, what I'm telling you too is that those Africans is not PNM. They facts. They facts, facts, facts without selling no dreams. We don't sell dreams here. We speak real. Marvin Gonzalez came up on social media. Well, he was having a press conference and somebody asked him questions about the board. Marvin Gonzalez's conversation is if, when he look at the board, he feel like he's somewhere down Bangladesh. He feeling like he's somewhere in India. My first responsibility to explain to Marvin Gonzalez, you see the brothers and sisters who left India, they didn't come here on a whole hanky-dory trip. They came here because they had things to do in this country. So they volunteered to come here. Unlike me and your ancestors, We were dragged here. So when you're ready to start to talk about Africans in this country, Mr. Marvin Gonzalez, and stop Paulie representing us, the next thing is, Mr. Marvin Gonzalez, your responsibility. I really think that you were speaking to your own government. I honestly believe so. But just for peace sake, my responsibility is to distribute the facts. Ladies and gentlemen, under the Rowley-led administration, they hijacked the PNM. Somehow the PNM supporters allowed it. I know our responsibility to sort out. Them go sort out that on their own time. We don't have that kind of time. But my responsibility is to talk about the hijack. And they put a man in place. So that means the PNM was given an opportunity to form a couple of cabinets. Rowley formed the cabinet, and Luxman, we take a man and put he to the people in Trinidad and Tobago. We tell Trinidad and Tobago that this man is the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago. When you ask who voted for this man, which ballot box he name fall into, nobody knows. What party he was actually representing? This should be the question of the day. What party this man was representing when them trying to tell me he was Prime Minister? What political organization? Because PNM had a political leader, and this was not the man. This man was never the political leader of the PNM. But again, just to touch back on Marvin's statement. Marvin said that when he looked at the boards, he feels he's somewhere in Bangladesh. We go start with this man who not claiming Indian to start with. So you can't count he as an Indian on this list. Let me go down the road again. Well, let's see these people. So we go take he. We go count he as one Indian. Right? What's going on here? Hold on. What I'm showing you here? We go take this young lady here. We go count she as 2 Indian. All right. Let's go. Take a look at this page. We are Mr. Fitzgerald Hines. We are Amy Brown. We are him both down to the bottom. He don't consider himself an Indian. So we can't count he. So we still have 2 Indian. Let me go again. I'll show you our next page. 2 more African again. Let me go again now, man. Show you our next page. We have 1 Indian fella with us like the wine in tongue. We have our next gentleman here. So we reach 4 Indian. 4 Indian so far. We have Mr. Baraman from Library. Let me go again. Adrian Leonsi, Penelope Beckles. Let me go again. I honestly don't know if this fella consider himself an Indian, but we go put he on the Indian list. I don't know if Indian people claiming he, but just because of the here, we go put he on the list to make up numbers. So we go put this gentleman as an Indian here. We shorten some Indian on this page again, but I don't know see. Let me go again. I know this lady here. She don't consider herself an Indian, them does consider herself as Africans. This gentleman here, so we reach number 5 Indian people in PNM cabinet. A flipping pages. Let me go again. Six, 7, 8. Let me see if we're lucky enough to find someone. Guess what? The next page, 2 more African. The same man who complained. Last page. Brian Manning. Yeah, coming up. So out of a whole cabinet, they take prime ministership. Give it to a man nobody voted for. In charge of the cabinet. Barely pick Indian people. They pick a couple of lookalikes. And Marvin Gonzalez, who was sitting right there while that happened under the PNM. Now, while all of that going on, I want to take a piece of facts here now before I go. Yes, no, before I go. Where this thing is here now, boy? Lily, hold 1 second. Let me tell you a piece of facts here. What's name? Where? Yeah, man, what's up now, man? Hold on, I want to tell you something here. Because the kind of games that Marvin Gonzalez and them play in this country, I want Marvin Gonzalez to bring out factual data. Tell him I say keep an express conference. He need to explain to the people of Trinidad and Tobago what day, which one of the Africans was given an opportunity to be in the engine room of the PNM. The PNM had an engine room, you know. The PNM had an engine room. And I want to clarify to Mr. Marvin Gonzalez, the engine room in the PNM, dispute what I'm telling you here today, was Mr. Kam Imbut, Mr. Stuart Young, Mr. Franklin Khan, Rohan Sunanan, Kazim Hussein, and Clarence Rambarat. Marvin, you're arguing and talking and disputing a pack of crap when you're willing to stand up and represent as an upstanding, stable-minded African in this country. Because when racialism was being displayed, you wear your PNM jersey properly. Catch yourself, boy. And then you victimize the people of Trinidad and Tobago with water. A little bother with Marvin and them racial talk, eh? UNC only way tell them Felix say, yellow is the code, we're not playing with them. They go sit down and envy Twiggy how long they want. I know no problem. Eventually they're going to end up envying me, they're going to envy you, they're going to envy the MPs. Just so they go start back to bad talk to each other. I know no problem. At the end of the day, we continue going forward. Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, until we meet again, all your boy have to head out because I have a long little run to make. But I love all you. This has been the next episode of Real Talk. Again, where real people discuss real issues. All you continue to stay focused and have a blessed remainder of your day. Love all you. And all you know are out there. Have a blessed day. 500 and something and you all. Thank you very much for the love, the support, and the endorsement. Until we meet again tomorrow, please, Lord, because remember we running.
People place in my life every living day. People place in my life every living day. People place in my life every living day.